everyone, welcome to another video. And today I'd love to talk about nature. And when you really think about it, nature has been, there on this earth long before humanity even came to be on this planet. And so, of course, it's only natural for me to wonder, what was life like, before we came to be? There were no borders, there were no price tags on everything, no money, no jobs, no competing. Everything was just pure bliss, pure nature, something real, nothing fake. It's just pure authenticity, among the animals, nature, and all that stuff, trees, the grass. I feel like that's what life should be all about, but then we come into this planet, and then we're just kind of forcing all these rules, these laws, these things that we have to do, these responsibilities, and yeah, it just makes it just loses what nature is actually supposed to be all about. And when you think about all these places of nature, it's actually kind of crazy how monetized everything is, down to, if you want to access a specific park, you have to pay for parking, or there's an admission fee, and this specific park has merchandise and they're making you pay because of the name of this park or this name of this country, and you're paying, like humanity finds any way to profit off of anything, off of merchandise, off of t-shirts, admission fees, parking tickets, whatever. I don't fucking know. There's like so many things in this world, but humanity finds every single way to just monetize everything on this earth, everything that's related to nature, which makes it even worse. You know how animals are built to just explore and roam the earth freely and stuff? And I feel like us as humans, we were also meant to do that as well. We were meant to explore, roam the earth, just go to different places, have new experiences and stuff. Like, we were meant to do all these things. When you really think about it, yes, we were meant to do those things, but humanity loves to make all these rules, all these things you have to do, get a job, make money so that you can afford to do this and do that, and so that you can pay that ticket to get into this park, to hike through this trail. Like, don't you guys see how pathetic that really is? It doesn't make sense how we monetize everything, including nature, for fuck's sake. And you know what's the most biggest ironic thing about all of this? It's that, like I said at the beginning, Earth was there before us. Nature was there before us. This park that I wanted to go to was there before humanity even came to be. And yet we still put a price on these things. We still put a price on every fucking thing on this earth. It's just wild how, these pieces of paper or a fucking digital number is what's gonna define if you get the chance to go to this place, go to this park, travel there, travel this, or it's just like, it's ridiculous. Why is humanity built like this? We were meant to have our freedom just as much as all the other animals on this world. You see wolves, you see lions and all that. They roam the earth. And and what's even worse is that we contain some of these animals for the zoo so that us humans can watch them and stuff like that. And it's crazy when you think about it. I long for a life where we have the freedom to explore, because this is actually what we were meant to do as human beings. We were meant to explore, roam the earth, travel, see new places, explore new cultures. We were supposed to do all that, but it all comes at a price. It comes with a price tag. You don't have enough digital numbers, well, you can't do what we were meant to do. It's ridiculous, because these are the types of things that actually feeds the soul. So why the hell does it come at a price? I even saw a previous comment in one of my previous videos, and this person talked about buying land, and when you think about it, there's this piece of land, that was there with nature before humans came to be, and yet as humans we put a price on this piece of land, and we make up a thing called buying land, owning a land, when Earth came before us. This land was there before we were here. So why the fuck do we put a price tag on this piece of land. You know, you have to have enough digital numbers to own this. To why do we have to own land? It's what concept is that? It doesn't make sense to me. I also always had this feeling that, you know, we were meant to be like this whole planet. We were meant to be like one, like all together, united and all. And it feels like we're all separated. And so I'm gonna bring up the topic of countries, you know, and borders and stuff. And you know, these things separate us from each other. And I'm not here to, you know, say that like the creation of countries is okay when it comes to like having different languages and, you know, putting a name on things to like explore, like, you know, if you want, I want to go to this country, it's cool, and this culture that has this language, a specific language that has a name, that's awesome. Like I love that, all that stuff. But on the other side is that these countries, you know, divide us, and it doesn't make us feel united, and it separates us. And that's why there's things called wars. You know, there's terrible situations happening, wars, fighting, countries fighting against each other, disagreements and stuff. And that's the downside of having countries. But you know, what I love about countries is having distinct cultures and languages, but all this war stuff, and it's just, and fighting against each other, not feeling united, it just reinforces the fact that humans suck. Like what are we doing on this planet? It makes me wonder what the fuck is going on. You know, I always wondered, why can't we just be citizens of the earth? You know, and you know, things like citizenship, visas, and you know, all these made up things to separate us and to make us confined and controlled. You know, for example, I'm born in Canada and have citizenship in Canada, so it's kind of like, oh, you are Canadian, you are this and that, and so you kind of stick to this, and wherever you go, you are that. That's part of your identity and stuff. And it's like what? I never even asked for this. I never even asked to be born in the first place, and I have these like rules and restrictions placed upon me and stuff. It's like, what? Like, like that's what this goes back to what I said earlier. It's just, I just long for freedom. I long to be and just to roam freely on this planet, this beautiful planet. But we keep fucking it up with all these responsibilities, these rules, these borders, monetization of everything. And just going back to the part where I said about owning land and all that bullshit, but it's like it feels like it's all an illusion. You know, it's like nature was there before us, and then we, you know, as humans, we own something. We have a name attached to, you know, we have the paperwork, our contract, or whatever the fuck that says, oh, we own this land, we own this piece of nature. Like, doesn't make sense to me. It's so fucking pathetic. It's such a joke. You know, I love to travel. I love exploring the world, new cultures and all that. But I can't help but think sometimes how the concept of vacation is kind of a scam when you think about it. Because when you think about it, like vacations, like it's like everybody, everybody has a job. Everybody's making money somehow. And then we all take a time off at a certain point. And sometimes a lot of people have the same vacation weeks as everybody else, and then certain parks and certain attractions, certain countries will be packed, airports will be packed for a certain period of time, especially in the month of July and August, because that's when everybody goes on vacation. And when you think about it, it feels like a scam in some way, because it just feels like a way for the economy to flow, for money to keep running, to keep, money for this country, money for this, money for the flight, money for the hotel. It's like, it's just a system that keeps on running on money, and just everybody making money, and money getting passed around everywhere. And because summertime, that's the busiest season for vacations, so it almost feels like a scam. Even though I love traveling and I feel like that's what we were all meant to do, but when it comes at a price tag, it all makes it feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel authentic because of it, because there's a price tag to all of this, and how everything is just run on economy and flowing money and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. But yeah, all this to say, it's like nature, the earth, the planet, the trees, the grass, the fields, you know, land, nature, all these things, mountains, all these things were there before we were here. And yet, once we came to be, once humanity started and civilization and all that and capitalism, we decided to just put a price on everything. Put a price on this tree, put a price on this land, put a price on everything. It's crazy. Like like this awareness that I'm going through makes me realize all of this, how all of this is such a joke, and how there's a price tag on everything. Something as simple as nature, something as authentic and real and pure as nature has a price tag on it. Like, why? Why do we fucking do this? I don't fucking get it, man. The earth was whole. The earth was pure, was real, and yet we divide it with systems and countries and borders and all that. I don't know. It's just how we are, and but yeah, I'm just trying to survive in this shitty ass system. But I'm just this is what I do. This is why this channel exists. I'm here to expose the harsh realities of this fucking world. But a lot of people would just try to deny it and all to cope better with this reality. But this is just the truth. This is just the truth, and this is what I'm here for. And yeah, if you're still watching, then thank you. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments about nature and how we put a price tag on everything. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.